Call over the planning commission public hearing for November 21st, 2022.
Mr. Cox.
Here.
Mr. Blackmore.
Here.
Mr. Vaughn.
Here.
Mr. Roberts. Mr. Sheehan.
All right. Personally, here tonight is active plumbing, proposing approval conditionally certificate to allow its plumbing supply sales and achievement. You're the active plumbing guy, right?
Yes, sir.
I guess there's no one here to the public to speak this
fast.
that should Fast time starts, so you're the thing that's here to speak to that. Right, why was there, public hearing? Was it something colored?
Yeah, section 116904 requires retail businesses, there's 4 criteria. Last time we talked about this, the commission felt that the applicant fell within that criteria needs to be able to be in this building, and it's subject to conditions like
So it was a retail section of the town. It's a very different.
yeah, so typically in industrial districts you don't have retail sales. And in this instance, the code does provide an opportunity for some limited retail business occurring in the district. And there's 4 criteria, well, 3, and then the 4th being planning commission determines are compatible with others.
So the citizen might object to being a retail business in an industrial area. This is the time.
And this is typically what this is an opportunity where, so yes, they anyway you come to that view, citizen or resident, any agree or interested party speak for or against the application. And as a condition was understood, planning commission makes any reason to safeguard the conditions here on the application because it's condition.
No one here to speak to this. I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. So moved. All in favor? Aye. Right. And then since you're the first applicant, here we can move right into the regular planning commission. Plus you're waiting for
No, it's just something.
right. Call over the regular scheduled Macedonia planning commission meeting for November 21st. Get a roll call.
Mr. Westbrook.
Here.
Mr. Cox.
Here.
Mr. Vaughn.
Here.
Mr. Sheehan. Mr. Blackmore.
Presents approval of the October 17th meeting minutes. Thank you. We've got the actually first the public hearing meeting minutes. Make a motion to approve the public hearing minutes. I vote to do that. I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Regular meeting minutes. I moved to approve those as well. All in favor? Aye. First, are you Steve Barber?
Aye.
Come on up. Back to plumbing supply. So I think, coming to us before, comments before, so we have a accomplished. Mr. Grant, you have some comments.
Yeah, I have a report dated November 12th. So last time we talked about this particular item that related to signage, which spurred a conversation about the use, which ultimately led us this evening to have the additional use public hearing. So the commission issued conditions. So At that time, it was again principally centered around signage. My previous comments were related to the need to have tenant space identified in terms of any tenant space occupies. And then, as I identified, some 78 feet, approximately 6 square feet of side area. You just don't know what the tenant frontage is for this rear space. It indicated safe to assume the applicant was going to 44 square feet of wall signage is acceptable. 22 feet of space, but we can meet that information.
Okay, so the project just didn't like the project.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because the commission can't approve it if they don't know what the frontage is.
Yeah.
See, you're going into a multi-tenant facility, and so they have to look at the entire facility. My next comments relate to parking, so the same thing, signage, parking, it all based on the tenant frontage, it's the first footage of what you're occupying, that will determine your allowable sign area and your parking requirements by the.
Okay. I still figure out some parking, well, when I fill up pictures of place, zoning usage, I just put in there, with parking slots, we tell me we're going to need, act upon somebody's going to need personal building. There are 12 additional parking spots. I don't know, I have this, I don't think they want something like this, but it's essentially, we have the building for the parking spots and then how they're allocated based on the tenant and their parking spot. So it just breaks down how much each tenant has, like the 15, it's all 42 that are 12 that are not assigned to any tenant. So I don't know if you need something in writing to say that those 12 can be allocated to that only. But I think in the memorandum, it's mentioned something 20, so 27 parking spots. So even if we didn't use all those, well, let's say we 9 of those have to get us to 27, and still need 3 other spots for the 3 tenants to be able to use this.
And there's 3 additional tenants with 14,000 square feet of area. And that 14,000 square feet has how many spaces available?
Parking spaces.
Yeah.
Well, what they came up with, what they would need. So again, like we did. So they came up with tax incorporation stated 5 capital for the personal goods to DMV consolidated would be 5. Then active side that our busiest peak time will be 18. It wasn't based on square footage, it was based on what their demand would be, which leaves us with 12 spots. So those were just not allocated to anybody. But I think you want.
Yeah, I think having that's
Yeah.
reference.
So that's again, those weren't, they were kind of just said, hey, we met with the police, but also the owner, the building property as well. So we went to look at the police and we bought the building last year, just kind of pay how much spaces do you need. And then that's kind of what they keep on, but that's then also we got all our back, so we actually paid. So on the whole building, you all the whole. Yes. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So you own the building
yes,
and you have tenants.
yes.
And Denston Corporation is in which unit?
That's incorporation is in, I think of the building disposition. It is in the, okay, yes, it's in unit 1. But do you have the same documents?
I have what you provide.
Okay, all of it, okay. Yeah, so they're in unit 1, unit 2 is DOB consolidated, and unit 3 is capital workers. And obviously, unit 4 and 5 is, okay.
And what is DOB consolidated?
They essentially have a lot of roofing material, rubberized material, they just go right there, and they just ship it straight out there. Essentially, a distribution out to a major, like a major roofing company. They just store material and ship it out to wherever they want to use it. It's kind of a strange business.
They don't have any employees.
They have 3.
3. They have a need for 5.
Yeah, this is, based on their demand or growth, or did they have people there or something? They said 5 spots. Dennison is actually a plumbing company, it's actually delivering plumbing, but that's in corporations, what their EPA does, I believe. And they have 5 spots. Yeah, like I said, if they needed 4, they could. If that was one of the 3 spots that they need, I guess, really. And then Capital Builders is just, as the previous owners of that building, actually, studying those since the next years. They aren't even in office all the time, it's.
So how the cities zoning code works, any city that has zoning code with regard to parking, it's based on, there's minimums in set in the code based on square footage. And there's no provision, if you will, that says, well, we require this, but an applicant can tell you the thing less than. So they have to go with what the square foot of apartments are. And DOB consolidates 5 spaces. See, for us, we need to know the total square footage if it has enough apartment.
Yeah, and does that also depend on like what their zoning is, so if their zoning for something else, it would be, doesn't maybe.
Yeah, it's not zoning, it's the use. So zoning district dictate number of uses of any that zoning district.
Okay.
You, as the owner, your use is established conditionally permitted in the industrial district. DOB is a warehouse use, it sounds like.
Yes,
So they have no office space at all in there,
one office.
one office. So within that 10,578, there's an office.
Yeah, the owners is at office, I don't know.
Yeah, so 10,578, could the whole thing warehouse, they would be 14 spaces just for that square footage.
Okay.
If we're all warehouse. Then say total number of spaces for the entire complex.
The entire complex is 42.
42.
With the current, yeah. I think the building piece of data. Hopefully, this I should. Yeah, I think it's probably like.
Okay. And then plumbing folks, is that like an office use?
No, it's mainly a warehouse space. So look at ours electric right now. Basically, the building owner, we essentially have the same business model as Parks Electric does. 90% of our customers are general contractors, small contractors, and town contractors. But if somebody walks in down the streets of town, doesn't have the same thing. So that's what that kind of retail is. If otherwise, we're not. So, you know.
But you're not doing like on paints where you have show there.
We do, yeah, we don't, we're not. It's just gonna be all warehouse.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
I mean, in Macedonia, it'll be all warehousing. There won't be a showroom or anything like that. It's just restoring material. And the contractors will have to find material. Will have to process it.
Good. Yeah, raw warehouse. We get a lot of the spaces. Right? It's not all in warehouse, but you're substantially warehouse.
I mean, the majority of this warehouse, there are offices in the back, but they're not used. It's just coming from warehouse from, I can't see your line. Back for offices there, pieces.
What percentage of your business would you say is dropped in items?
For like the homeowners instead of contractors.
Just anyone in general, contractor to homeowner. It's all based on cars.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter if Mr. Westbrook shows up as a
Yeah.
homeowner to buy a toilet or Johnny contractor, it's a car company, car.
50% of the business probably not. We take a lot of birds, we do a lot of truck races and jobs and stuff. It's not, that's not covered that. Flyer radios of this.
Sure, what I came up with. But I'd say that, you know, at bare minimum, you need 25, 9. And 31 spaces is the entire building for warehouse. 31. And there's 42 total, so usually about 11. And whatever.
Very nice, the whole building. The whole.
If the entire thing in the warehouse, and spaces.
So,
Yeah. We know those buildings not warehouse, so I'm just trying to understand is the 11 and delta positive 11 spaces that I don't. I mean, there's not a parking problem there now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like I said, on the other side, so obviously we have one whole side, which is 545. The other side is the DOT consolidating, which has certain points, and then literally belonging parts, the Johnson Corporation, which has about 5. And then Capital Other System, which is that, you know, they held that office because that was one of the buildings sitting on. Just the space.
And yours is more of a, your business supplying your model out here is more of a courtesy. If contractor comes in and they inquire, you're shipping mainly out to put this site.
So we ship mainly on Painesville, but we'll take orders and calls and on that orders, so our branch essentially, and we just ship it on Painesville. Eventually, we're going to be looking for someone else to ship, but that's the, don't wait till out, it's not. Don't bring that, we don't have a plan, but parking is.
So what are you doing for estimates?
It's mainly a pickup counter, but every once in a while, you know, somebody asks us to drop something, we can't pick up there and drop off, and there.
Oh, so
It is job site.
it's warehousing, it's mainly company contractors, but you're picking up items.
But we can't ship out of there, like if we had a truck that needed to pick up some items there, to go to a job site, they can come from Painesville, pick up items, and then go to the job site, and it's further down south. But obviously from Painesville to Super Bowl south, it's long drives,
Yeah.
that we stop here, it's not really.
So that's something. You put it, Brian, you put in your notes here, the applicant to demonstrate that occupied use 1, 2, 3 of parking available for various denied space, which you can see right here, probably. Is that true?
Well, it is based on square footage, yeah.
Well, then it may the landlord can't give like a little a document from these 2 other tenants saying all we need is 4 spaces, and all I need is 3. Then it would be irrelevant what if they got a variance or something, then I think that's an issue.
Well, I mean, so we do everything based on square footage, and we have established uses that qualify for like I said, warehousing, office, service street. And there's not anything, I mean, when there's not a specific use mentioned in the code that the commission can apply to the measurement that's most similar to something identified in the code. So we have things that are identified in the code specifically that can feel it. What it feels like is the site is just or the amount of square footage. That's what it feels like. Because you have we said how big the total different sites, total was in the facility.
That's stated in your notes. It's not a relevant range. You can't do it that way. That's what you're saying. You can put that down. You can demonstrate they don't need all this price.
Well, maybe it's not clear, what I meant was if there's additional parking based on what they have use wise, I don't know what uses we're hearing. So, if it's all warehousing is calculated one space for like 800 square feet, it's very low demand. So, in fairness, we're trying to say, well, there's a lot of building warehouse, yeah. Your space is really more warehousing and sales.
Yes.
In the sales part, requires one space for every 200 square feet versus one space for every 800 square feet. If you were to say, I think, I don't know if I heard you, the total building size, by the way, is 267, and there's only 42 spaces. That's a pretty low, parking count for a decent sized building.
Yeah.
But if you told me that, if you're 57, you're 87 for 3, it will be 20% of it was sales, and 80% was warehouse.
That actually seems pretty close. It's all unit 5 is just shelving and racking.
Yeah,
Things like that. And then the other, like half of unit 4 is the same thing. And then there is, the potential be that there's a small cave area. Kind of like you got trauma zone, a small cave area for that, and then behind us all there.
maybe you have about 2,300-ish square feet of sales.
That would probably be pretty much it.
But by 200, you need 12 spaces. That. Eight spaces. Correct. 20 total. Where we start. Start with
18 is all.
Oh, we found a few, right? So there's 2 additional, but you said there's 9 extra
In total, there's 12 that have not been like
allocated.
essentially allocated.
I mean, if the commission's comfortable with that presentation. And then it varies. Otherwise, in the parking. It's going to be
Yeah.
that'd be tough. If it gets.
Right.
But then if use changes, maybe they have different tenants come in there. They get tired of it.
Which is another stipulation we want to add, because you have, that's a different point, so it's just a good point. I think both of those are probably things you want to attach to, so it be approvable. Because, you think about it. If some other use in the district that has a heavier parking, but if it's you asked about private recreation facility is actually a lot permitted use in the lights.
What used to be in there.
Yeah, that's in a limited industrial district, the way Macedonia's code works. The tax so it's a permitted industrial. So that's actually permitted use, which would probably carry a heavier parking demand. So, yeah, I would stipulate that.
We will do that in the condition, so they don't have to go variance because tenants, he does have a perfect ability to get along with a small amount of parking right now.
I don't think that's the way you word it. I think he's demonstrated he only has demand of 20% sales, 80% warehouse. That's really what I think you want to accept. I know that seems you're getting to the same spot, but you don't have the ability to do it the way you're describing it. So, but he can demonstrate that his space is occupying is 80%. storage, 20% sales, that would produce a perfect thing. Does that make,
I don't think so.
you get to the same place, just
We did this with it, not taking from planning commission, we got approved it. Subject to tenants remaining the same.
well, I would say you should incorporate this as exhibit A, submitted by the applicant. That's your current tenant mix. If that tenant mix changes, this is going to be attached to your, as a condition to your permit. If that changes and the parking demand changes, you come back here and talk to this commission. If that's okay with these guys.
Yeah,
And I'll mark it.
easier way. Okay, so parking's one issue.
It's fine.
It's signage, so the signage seems like it's okay, but they need the project to show, project, but
Yeah.
just starting.
Once I got that, or something, I still have the documentation, once I get that, just something.
Okay, that's right.
You don't know what your tenant frontage is.
But not off the top of my head, so it's, if you look at, it's unit 4's south side, is the probably considered the project, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so that tells me you have a. Or 80,
Yeah,
yeah, so they're fine.
it's almost half, not quite half the building length.
You have to have at least 40,
Oh, we're side that big.
22, you have to at least have 22 feet of frontage. So you're getting subject to their submittal there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, maybe it's 40% of that, but it's still plenty to apply. Now, the last piece of it is your instructional sizes. And your instructional signs can't exceed 4 square feet. You were shown 6 square feet.
Okay.
So no logo and 4 square feet. Okay, can you comply with that?
Yes.
And if the commission's okay with that, you would need to come back and then issue further installation.
All right. So let's make a motion to approve. As the applicant has demonstrated, as shown on exhibit A, their off-street parking. Which is based on their units being 20% sales, 30% parking.
20%, I'm sorry,
20%
20%.
sales, 80% per house. And with the condition that tenants change in the building or if there is parking issues, they would have to return and so with the condition that the understanding they have greater than 20 feet of frontage. Some signs comply. And with the condition that their instructional signage contains no logos and it is no greater than 4 square feet. Answer second. Mr.
Oh, I think I heard you say 20, not 20. Exhibit A is submitted by the applicant during the meeting. And also the 80/20 includes the permissible 20% reduction pursuant to 1171. That's the only way
Did you catch on that?
1161.
B2. I heard Mr. Westbrook say that. So that's the only way we can get there. That reduction.
But you got all that? All right. Any further discussion?
I seconded.
All in favor? Aye. All right.
All right, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Because everything is living right there.
Yeah, correct. Fine.
Our signing is, at the request of the applicant, Chipotle, we're aiming to see this is for next meeting there, that we. So. They make that rating.
You're just, it's been submitted in writing, so I think that's fine.
All right, so, means you guys grab. This is, change activity class. All right.
Excellent. Thank you much.
It wasn't convenient, but it not here to know. Oh, I was really good. I know, because I think all of you have been here before, just for the record, give your names. Quite simply. So, tell us about what you got.
So, that last.
Also, is this different than what you guys did? Is this just paper maps? This is updated. This is that's is that your time? Okay. Don't make submission again.
I'm gonna put it on. Wait for it.
Perfect comments. Back. Provide. So we're trying to do things that are strong. So go to same materials that we started with. Gas notifications. The sign man, so ancient, what's on the material, spiders and that. So our answer. Already been, that's accommodated for comments, right, and you'll see that on the side also.
That's the trend, so I had those discussions last time about the, yeah, so if you guys should.
Pick up this kind of like doors, you know. You can ask the question.
Yeah. Okay, so, okay, that's great. That's perfect. Because I know that came up as a question, and I just figured while we're talking about it. Great.
Page 5 shows a slide of it. Right, well, that's the raising barrier along the west side of the building, just right in front of the old. Right, doing the same. Same numbers in front, as the tables, 5% of the customers. Page 6, that's what shows.
Interesting, pretty sure, so the still one of them, that's still just kind of a picture, it's not necessarily going at the front entrance, or was that part of this? Well, or is that, well, we don't subject to that. Okay, so that's just kind of a picture of what possibly could be. Yeah. It could come back exactly, but it's right.
Right. It's not necessarily. We're thinking that we're trying to get it all through. It's just, I think it's a more inclined person. Chasing it through. Yeah, basically a long time since I was like. You know, take by 40,000. Okay. I'm going to start with my mistake that no, I think it's just like so spread out. They need to be they started. Yeah. And what's the right?
Yes, in terms of, so you guys are teaching actually that talk about personal practice. Are you guys going to do anything in this area? Like as part of, well, that's, I think it's gonna look bad. Don't do something. And I think kind of, I can understand and appreciate that. It would get too far. Last thing we put some good out time to play. Something to the portion piece that almost the rest of the kind of, but I don't know. Super good.
Right. Fortunately, able to deliver change. So that work. I'm going. So it's every year. It's a good question.
Yeah, I think it's going to I agree. I think
we'll have that answered by then. Yeah, that's, I don't see this whole slice of.
Right, yeah, right.
That's it up there. So it's good to ask, and it's just, you don't know exactly what it's going to be, and I think it's.
No, and I think even when it just be taught, just the store once you're gonna know that like that's, there's no, like that's maybe our entrance store fronts, there's.
I wish it would say.
Even just the store.
I mean, we're not gonna have it, we're not gonna leave it fully flat. And again, ideally, I think, the idea based on the way of getting that, not exactly, it's the, but. Has to be.
Good on, just on thinking, doesn't this kind of match these other two? So I think it becomes fairly attractive. It's, yeah, I don't know what else we do. I know, I imagine those, but that's kind of like, that's kind of getting in, okay, just things that you could do, kind of what they're showing up there, it makes more sense to me, maybe that, in other words, brick it in, like the other two are, that's what this one, brick it all, because they're not designers there, I'm saying, maybe it's not there, it's ready, brick it, so that it's, you know, it's, I mean, I get that there's how else probably be the only thing they
I mean, I guess you're saying somebody come and think it's different than that. It's still way for that. It's going to be different. I can't really say we can accept it, but I wonder if we could put a similar stipulation we did last.
I kind of think it's just an extension of what we talked about last time, to say that. They finalize, by the time we're sure that testing, it's part of it, there's not a time that's important. That's that's a, I mean, if you're saying that, you know, happens, but this not January, that's for all. So that I think that it would,
Very open, spring to early spring.
so I think that by the time you're done with this, and just either you gotta have another time right there, or you just have to start that way. That's. I think that is why that time is voted to bring that something here, then you have to then pair out or you go back to the patch it out.
So kind of looking back at what our, you know, we had a motion to approve these next, we also then previously approved some of the construction plans. To add a condition for the remainder of the building. The grass center between is not reviewed. If it's in the grass center, the person to then let the credit come. Basically, for development agreement, you know, there. Now, you're 90% of the way there today. I wonder if we need to amend it again to maybe push the data farther. Because we knew this was coming in, but we had a made that amendment, we thought it was going to be the best. So we can extend that in years, extended years, that by year, knowing that you're looking at January. To get this extended. The don't get that decided and then you can letter of credit, please. Or development, or reduce this. You know, something like what you show over there, bring back planning, this and that. So maybe that's. So that's, like, you know. Reasonable, so. Yeah, again, December 20th, and kick that out of here, and finish remaining pieces. So,
Yeah, I would, when this, you said December 24th, January 24th, turn over, January 24th. Yeah, and I would, I we can't go out and see if they do. Special law, and I, you know. So I'm fortunate to do it, but yeah, but I think that's probably the best approach in high occupancy to it. And if by that time you don't have a tenant, and either submit something akin to this, get it approved, or submit the letter of credit to build up that fast.
And if everything goes well, back into March or February this coming year, hopefully it's the last 10, right again. Yes, that's a good. Thinking looking, that's what he's.
A lot more tenants to be out, but right. Bigger rooms.
I guess, so, okay, so you're still talking about, so we got the sidetracked to materials, especially.
Yeah, so on page 6, we show some architecture. Paintball. And then page 10 was you brand. But if you recess, similar detail. Yeah. Off to the bottom and down there. Arguments against that, this brand evidence from the class. That's, yeah, that's so brand. Architecture's been some comments about the landscaping and the site lighting around it.
It's, just for instance, I know you just got this, well, in relation to your comments, maybe as you go through.
Yeah, do you want me?
Yeah, go ahead and go through your comments.
Okay, yeah, first thing I'll say that no matter how many times I review the memo, should say ongoing series, not serious. So, that's a grammatical error that I'm proud of.
So the market that's. Reduction.
Only 5%.
That's early.
Yeah, I could have not called it out. Apparently nobody else did. So November 13th, and a lot of my comments relate to lots of what we talked about here tonight. So the corner element, we come back to that piece. I'm glad you designed that corner element. It's a popular piece for tonight, so that's good. And then we also, I appreciate you looking at that, western building walls. Well, it looks like what you did was, I think it's just a discussion for the commission, but it looks like you put in some of the fiber cement panels, right, and geometry panels to create some break along that along the wall.
Yeah, the five minutes,
So,
back here. Fix my last one. It's the same. What color is it?
So I think that's a good for discussion. I think that's good. I had a comment for number 2, which is the demolition of the garden center. It said that it was previously approved, not part of this, but I thought it was discussed during the TJ Maxx meeting. I didn't think any decision was made. But it's being removed. Yeah, we'll take it down. Yeah. With this, yeah, I don't think you need much permission. But it's with this application.
That's, I guess we had a misunderstanding that.
Yeah, be shown in on this, okay. So number three with the western building wall. And then I added in here, I guess this is a discussion item, but obviously there's a cost to do this, which is the black decorative fence with columns, mirror the other side of the road. That's something the city's been really trying to push with all new applications or remodels or whatever. You can see on the opposite side of Route 8, yeah, they carried that all the way down to the conventionals and beyond. You know, it would be nice to create that element at this intersection. Or again, I know it's a cost, but just about that's something we can at least talk about tonight. And then, glad so you're going with China white throughout. So that's good. Yeah, I felt that. We had talked about that last time, the conflict of colors. It's good just to have one consistent.
Yeah, keep in mind some of the textures are a little different, so like the harnesses, the whole combination, so ways that they shine white. Be looking to be a little bit different than the black season. Yeah, it's all very challenging.
And then, we're showing the lap siding. You've eliminated that.
It's looks like it's steep green. Horizontal. 3 inches. Which matches.
Right, but that's not lap siding.
It's not that side.
Because you showed, you still do, I think.
You can see it.
Yeah.
It's, but I guess an elevation.
Well, yeah, this was what I showed. And that particular envelope manufacturer.
Yeah, that's what you know.
That's
The,
and my dog, it calls it out as a lap side.
that's page 17 at the bottom.
Yeah, I have it on my comment 5. I called out lap side, the word on that side. It was previously shown. So changed the
Really, so what we're using though. For EWP 18. There's a column that may be 30.
Yeah, but if you look at your last submittal, it's much different on page 4 than what you're showing now. You're showing the panel system for 10, yes, for 10 space. I know that that's sort of, we're not really necessarily agreeing to with that space tonight, but you previously showed it as.
Yeah, and the history, Burlington, as you see constructed today. Wasn't like this less than.
So it's not what the condition approved.
So it's not what we designed. It's not what you contractors.
Oh, replacing.
Replacing. And so what that we're going to do is use this each for everything. And so when you look at today's submittal, you see those horizontal lines. 30 inches. We were contemplating matching what was built incorrectly. And align it with TJ, but it would be cool. That's not your mistake because of your pricing. And then apply that across all the site.
Okay, so that was my comment number, okay, that was, 5. Address the check and white, 5. Then, photometrics.
Yeah, I was confused by your concept of metrics because we submitted in October of 2021. The first submittal had three-dimensional color model, kind of hard to read. So looking at the readings, and then when we made a resubmittal in November of 2020 and December of 2020. Included it. And actually, or they site, but it doesn't that.
And was it, I just can't remember, we did talk about this, what was decided, because typically, 1 full candle's the max of the property line.
And so it wasn't discussed, we just submitted it. Discussion, we got our vote.
What do I should say?
December 21.
But we've also sent our contractor out. They some measurements from. Yeah.
Down. Yeah, they're typical, and we could also reduce, beyond the market of revenue. So they get installed like a little company.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's not like a shield.
Yeah, it's not-
That adds a little bit.
Yeah.
Dim on that.
Correct, you can tweak that.
Okay, yeah, I'm shocked that I wouldn't have brought that up. I would have brought that up. Or
There was questions that we were thinking. Back in November, so. Okay.
So is there no additional way to propose very good? We did the entire, we did it from office. I go, we did the whole thing.
okay. And then landscaping, just it.
Similar. We submitted our original landscaping in October. Wanted to take comment about shrubs, take back about the gallery, the entrance, and so that original submission of schedule. So what we submitted in November of 2020, December of 2021, incorporated your documents.
Is that incorporated in this submittal
Here,
here?
and that's what's incorporated. It's the same thing, 2020. Sorry, December. Yeah, shrubs, yeah, let's see. Broad various versions here.
Yeah, it just looked like when I didn't have that. I didn't just look at that. But I do sometimes, you should hear what White tells me about my office. But it felt like there should be less grasses and more other stuff. It just looked like there was a lot of grasses and less other stuff. But you were saying they're exactly the same. From November, my comments from 21 to now have been addressed.
Okay.
That's what they're comments. You're like,
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Anything that you're looking at the October originals.
Yeah, I just thought, I know that we had added some landscape islands.
right.
And I thought in those islands, we had, put, landscape species in the island, not just grass, but some trees. Am I? So you look at the end of each of the two islands created, does it look like there's trees proposed? Right? I'm sure that's what we were talking about. So there's about, that I can comment on. Yeah. Yeah, and you had striping. And I think that's what we said, well, we need to landscape, make those actual landscape islands. And you've done that, but just with grass, but I sure we were going to put some trees in those islands. You have, are those like pictures in there?
Yes, there's one tree.
Yeah, I saw that, that's, snow crab.
Yes,
And what's in those other spaces?
there's light bulbs.
And those were newly created light bulbs?
There's also the existing light bulb we changed out a bit.
Okay.
And there's existing trees. So they're
I would say where you placed the snow crab, just adjacent to Pearl, and you see that snow crab you acted. That area right there, see where I kind of got that circle? Okay. That's where you give the snow crab plan there. You should have them at the other end as well. Here, I'll just mark it. Yeah. So, I think if you just add a few trees, I think the intent was that you bring the landscape island, you had a tree in the island, you had some species in there, as opposed to just grass. So I would suggest you add some trees in those springtime. It should be big enough, right? Which one? That. Right, let's start. Yeah, I mean, it's still crap, that big, right? I kind of together. Over. I'm spoken with my students. They would object to it. I think. And it is, and I don't know if it's built. That's existing now. But is that not here? Is this the current picture?
There else to be done.
Oh, that did help us,
So that's not there.
okay, you know, just looking, yeah, right here, is that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so maybe match the shrubs that we showed in the now fire rate. That's not a picture.
Yeah. This is gonna be in there, is that speak to? What is that? Why? Which is more appropriate for from their door. Yeah.
What we show right there. So, no, that's a typical 10-foot wide option. It's got a break between. Accidentally, the TJ. That's what I think. But are those best new plantings? Those right there, they're supposed to be down the street.
Oh, okay,
It's in order, they can order here.
yeah.
But you do plantings. That bought out, basically.
Yeah,
Oh, so, okay.
as long as it's going.
You know, what I'm saying, I stuff in front of that, especially when you're trees. One hard to keep alive in those situations. But it's always pushing back. It's just great. And life sees that's all very active.
Yeah, I mean, I would say some sort of bushes should be in there. If you're saying you're gonna build this out, it's typical sections. Because we should be patient. City would conduct an inspection, so that would be a compliance inspection. They did want to be, I know they want your grass and this grass. Right. Okay, it's just right, right. So, hopefully most of this gets in the ground this fall. Right. Well, I would encourage you not to plant it. Good. Yeah. It's too financing. You're not sleepers, you said. Yeah, it's too late. It's. Yeah. You're 50% the bottom, so I'm sure it's pretty good. Fine. Yeah, it's too late. It's gonna be, and then they'll die, and then just the whole point is to have a little crash and give it time to grow, and that you should do in the spring. Yeah, I think it goes a lot faster. Not substantial. It's fine. I think if you're doing the shrubs, it's allowed according to the, I thought they. No, they were in, yeah, they were in. I'll be quiet. It's just not a day that. To the question, so it's responsible to maintain. They are all on this guy right here, but part of that's not a right away, part of that's not operates. I don't know, I will, I'm just looking at it, there's a fence there, and that is still looking. I had this conversation with a parent on the time, something those trees down, I go down. But I was sitting by the sign, and one of the that's electrons. Yeah, right there on hydrogens are kind of students. I guess what I'm pretty about that is just. Just slowly. You want to thin those trees more. Just yeah, I could never, I was trying to come. But that's city property. Well, yeah, and the trees are on the other side of the back, yeah, so they're not. I've heard about that stuff asking. But it's not. So it is on the other side of it. Yeah.
I think the one thing. So building.
Yeah, I just think that, yeah, you should get rid of that.
Yeah, we're spending all this money inside this building, we're gonna make that building.
That's great. It's fine to look at it at the time, right?
Nobody else will, I better ask you.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know what, I will go, I will go get spider trying there. And they're big, they're the problem, bigger trees there. That's fine, here in the morning. They block it, that's my sign, they block our line, but sign. Now we can see them. Some, it's really, the fingers, because you know. Yeah, this was there. It's all over there, right now.
Is that?
That's all I know, that's right away, 90% of it. Okay. Still, not the areas, you should go, you know, you're not about it. It's a big kind of, that was part of the thing, we got much time. They got high.
Yes, they're. It's actually.
I know.
I was even looking to see if there's like a way to. No, converting nicer. Get back to. And. All right.
20 years ago, it takes all of them. All the courts.
All right.
So. Oh, I did have one last thing. That box in the front, you are attending on. Yeah, well, that's one thing I'm gonna, I understand, I call it October. Yeah, because they don't. Yeah, I just was an extra. Yes, I'll call, ask them, you'll say no, I don't get there. Yeah, right. And you cannot, they won't answer. Especially if you don't. But yeah, because they'll hold it out. Just if you look. I think it was. City. Right, I think the lineup is great, so they did a great job. I think just a couple of comments, just because we had on the side. And we got down to we made that the side and how we're in it. So that we just push. And I get why, obviously, that running off against a 35-foot height here. Can't really bring it down because like that's.
No, I was just gonna bring it down, just gonna make that big bit of the flyers so that you can portion it.
Yeah, so say
The only thing I was gonna say that is also maybe just wrap that with it. This piece, just to have something like this wrap it. It's almost long, and so it's not so, I'll look at that solution. Where it be high, drop the green.
just raise the chair.
Put that first column, so that it's not. So you got 35 feet. Total structure. So it's like 30 difference.
Backside. Our. And you don't want to see it flashing.
You already kind of do action. It's the way to show. You're in your ends that. I can see all of that, so that's part of my concerns and probably such a right here at your like, you can see all of it. Right here, it's white and also you can see right where the tabs. That's probably, yeah, I think that's what my concern from. You're gonna see that, you know, balance.
The panel suggests that they probably correct. I didn't see that from kind
Then I think, you know, maybe just add a couple of other, two little pieces, just go on that higher up on the side, if I break it up, I feel like you're going to those problems. Or problems, really, add a little bit of a height on here, like 35 feet. Couple of pieces, maybe just the, probably some punch right there, probably not that, it's the same thing back here on the one, because there's it will really help with that, move that side of it. I think he's helped, but I don't think they can hear him.
It's, how, bring up that, portion thing, so. That's.
I think that they're seeing the front of them.
Or it's not a proportion of the front.
I feel that tower is a little bit out of proportion personally, but I know that probably wishing to make this wider, make this wider, probably makes so many portion.
Right.
I don't feel that's the right proportion. I think that's pretty long, honestly, but I think there's probably some insurance there, so I think this is wrapping out, that's a just the whole whatever that is, that's probably one to go over that first column, yes, everything.
I think. There's some requirement. So.
Yeah, which is a little bit like we should have done on the side. Yeah, it's the market is students going to take down your something out of the 35 feet, you're doing 35 feet. After student is something. And you put the room out there. There, especially some very how you try to create some things that you didn't look it up or a bunch of things off there. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Something here from here. And there really makes sense to me. Washington. It's really it's a whole idea. I never heard this before. Architectural change. I never saw that. I don't think that they'll change the, it doesn't have to be just. That's what comes to the agreement. Architect. Yeah. Okay, so here's how you execute a model game market. One thing I see all those things, it's a tower, running, building, nothing together. So the whole thing is difficult to do. But I think Haley made two good tenants coming in here, but making changes. Probably plans they probably don't have, I guess. So I don't know, they should be consulted on changing the variable line, things like that. Go up and you create this. I don't think it's too creative. I mean, our shop is going to be different funds. We can have
They, every proposal that comes in, we put policy on it. Parents, I mean, that's a big chunk, I'm pretty sure that it's been taken care of. Needs to go, it's been taken to meet the parent center just. Right. Yeah. And then I don't think that the kids are going. I suggest it's going to be take these thoughts back. I'm just, I don't think there's enough. Because at the minimum, you've got this plans tonight. Your architecture, your consultants, they have changed. So the whole big. Bringing things like this in. He had brought this in, I think it was a lot of things that he answered. A lot of wasn't addressed in these, but I still think so. It's a chance that it was be a chance they can take or and take scouts of us and so they he's made a lot of progress in great place. But recently, things like the tower and the side. But if any other suggestions here, figure it out. Yes, I was going to call. I think it's the one that we're trying and it's something, even if you guys thought it was a great idea, what is it truly to building, but it's their lines here. How you suggest very progress from down. Same like you were at the line those steps for they want theirs. That line 3 times down here's the broad background. I know this is probably educated for that slip, but I would say to bring that down so that the line is very all the way across it. And just there inside of that great. You get that by the beginning, so you don't apply type of problem. So we're going to come back to the stairs. Please do it.
In front, the only other thing I had from are those the conference that I think they're standard. She don't have that anywhere else, right? The fall. Got a little white ones that would be shown. Trying to get fast. Yeah. Use those. TJ Maxx is great. That's funny. Yeah, it's just I don't know, it's not super attractive. But tries a lot of people don't know. Yeah. But that's the whole thing that's the parking right. Oh, not for, so, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, I thought it was a whole set. But it's a short had a little parking for how wide there. It's like, it's whole process of outside and go, yeah. Is that really all from their point? Is that right after we step the, what's the, what's the fancy in favorite order right there? Their guidelines. Okay.
I guess I would suggest. Yeah, but, you know, I think taking all these thoughts back, give us a chance to review what you brought in tonight. I suggested to me and some electronically, so change. And quicker. Same as anything. Continue. Discuss it. You should. There's the next week. It's going to be 13. So,
But if you turn it tomorrow, like,
No, just turn this in, just turn this in, and then we have point comments on it.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think you're right. And then, yeah, and then if there's any additional comments, so you guys can your comment on it. Okay, well, so that's something. Then she'll have this at the end. Also, in that, which you would then make comments on it. I mean, some of the changes discussed, maybe, but you know, it's, great comments. That's my, I understand. Oh, no, I said just go get this, you know, so this is, yes, it is, yeah. I think it not, right. Way fast.
you know, where you can kind of just think there's a value in any of this. Yeah, discuss tonight. But seems to be the area that you and just for discuss that. That's all.
Yeah, but it's incorporated pretty well. I do think that, I mean, I like that better, but I'm hearing what, Mr. Walters is talking about and adding some transitional depth, like, or transitional height, probably does make some sense to me. It would, because it's not that abrupt change. But I do like what you, listen, again, I think you're trying to address things, and I think the city really appreciates that. I think you're almost there. Yeah, and submitting, and it's just what I'm saying, you just submit it tonight, submit that right away tonight or first thing in the morning. That's good to be on that agenda, and you can make your changes. And, you know, if you need to override.
so if you have to, that's this digital. The morning one with those copies that are given now, email me and email.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, all the shit. And I'm not, I was just like, staying next to I don't know, it's just a whole soften it, way just a little bit, not as broad. We don't worry about this stuff. That's, but it's otherwise, I mean, I had no, yeah, everything else is, I know we're going to. So this might invite it to, you know, it's going to be less. So to say to make it a certain way that we're going to get it, the end of it, you know, you get distracted or something. Oh, look at this stuff, okay. Okay, that's very good.
And in terms of the, we're talking about the very beginning, again, the accident, the fast section. Let's deal with that. Let's deal with that. The next meeting, something happens. Our next one. Yeah. And, you know, that's why, I mean, or we could make, I mean, actually, you're not gonna have a submission, but we could either do the out. State layer, states all the one. Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, to know, what I would encourage you to do is where you show that tenant space there, just put a little bubble about it that says, subject to, tenant occupancy requirements within 1 year and occupancy, something, you know, to tie it, so that it's on the portion of the, you're trying to ignore sharing. Yeah. And it's just basically like like you said, you're just effectively out here, trying to do it. But it'd be good to just bubble it on there, just so it's on the plan, so we don't lose sight of it. Just some language instead of what we're trying to do. And I think Mark and Daddy, the flood director, I know I've talked, be aware of this for a potential development agreement. We take, hopefully they'll come to that. Yeah, kind of.
I don't, if we put it the other one, way, because that's exciting, we should, like, we just like. The process, appreciate it. Well, maybe it's not a lot of those. Yeah.
Very good. I'll make a motion, I'll continue this to December meeting. Second. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, thank you too.
Let's wait until next month when the guys, I'm gonna get on. All over. I'll just make some.
Yes.
All right, make motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. That was. So, I'll see you all.
Yeah, that's okay.